Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Bridge. They're still running the USA Interstate whatever. Maybe there was a news article announcing it, whatever. I haven't seen it, so I'm just guessing they're going to run it forever. Maybe it's just like, oh, we're running it for 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know. But I'm not playing it today. I decided to go back to just playing the regular free daylongs, at least for now. Because, there's not really anything meaningful about the interstate thing, and I thought some more about, how I had mentioned it's, the metric they use to decide which state wins doesn't really mean anything mathematically. And I thought, well, you know what it does mean is that whatever state has the most people competing has an advantage. Even if, on average, there are better players in Wisconsin than there are in California. By let's say they're average very slightly better. You would still expect California to win because it has so many more players. Because there's a lot of variance in scores, right? And the top 20%, the top 20 players will tend to be those at the most extreme ends of the variance, which if you have enough people, if you have, let's say, I don't know, why am I not just playing Bridge? Because I think math is interesting too. So imagine that, Wisconsin had 20 players exactly. So their score was just the average of all their players. And California had 1 billion players. And, Wisconsin's average score is 55%. And let's say California's is 54. The problem is Wisconsin's averaging 55 with 55 because their top 20 is the same as their average. Whereas California's average is 54 and their top 20 is an 80 because there are enough players that surely 20 of them will have gotten very lucky, right? 20 of them will also have gotten very unlucky, but those cancel out when comparing the average of all players and don't cancel out when computing the average of the top players. So, I don't know. I think, the whole thing is just... It's just for fun, of course. It's, whatever. But as someone from California, looking at it gives me, a false sense of pride. Where, oh, wow, California is so good at this game. But no, there's just more people in California. I couldn't tell you whether we're, better players on average than other states or not because of the weird scoring mechanism. Oh well. Anyway, so on to today's event. This is the free day-long tournament for March 19th, 2025. It's an imp tournament. I assume 8 boards? Yeah. So this will be a nice treat. We don't get to play imps very often in these free day-longs. So it matters very much that we find our games and that we make our contracts. That matters much more at imps than at match points, where at match points every trick matters. Roughly. Not really, but... Anyway, so we already have kind of a tough call, I think. We have 13 points, but there's not really any suitable call. 2 clubs on such an anemic suit is asking for trouble in a number of different... The trouble could arrive in a number of different forms. We could get doubled if West has a giant club stack. It's not super likely, but it is something to consider. Partner could take us too seriously, and we could go down in, 4 clubs doubled. Partner could lead a club, and it could be wrong. We could miss our spade fit. Maybe the auction goes a diamond, pass a heart, pass 2 hearts. Now I'm well placed to double, and we can actually compete in spades, right? So there's a lot of ways 2 clubs could go wrong. Certainly it could go right. But I don't like to bid it. I actually would rather bid a spade than 2 clubs here, because my spades are very sturdy. I know that I'll be happy if partner leads them. I could be unhappy if he raises them. But I might not be unhappy, right? The opponents probably have a heart fit. 1 spade makes it harder for them to find it comfortably, right? So I think it's between one spade and pass. I mean, I don't know. This is an event where it doesn't matter if I do well, and so it's a good excuse to try things out. I'm not saying this is the first 4-card overcall I've ever made, but this is one that I'm kind of unsure of, and I'd like to see how it works out. Okay, so they found their heart fit. Partner loves spades. I think I've said my piece. If partner wants to compete again, he's welcome to. I have a little bit of extra strength for my, I could have a king less or something, but my honors are very bad. This is a very bad 13 with the stiff queen of hearts and, I don't know, no aces, only 2 kings, right? So I don't think I have a ton of excess strength, and I have fewer spades than partner expects. So I think if one of us is supposed to bid again, it should be partner. Okay, this is one way 4 spades could go right or wrong. Partner loves, loves, loves spades. And we're in a game. Okay, well, sometimes you strike gold. That's a really nice hand, partner. And I mean, I don't think you should take this finesse. If it works, of course you'll be happy, but if it fails, it's really a disaster. Because the opponents might get a club, then a club rough, then a heart and a diamond. As long as we're willing to suppose that East, who opened 1 diamond, has the ace of diamonds, we're rock solid in this contract. I guess if spades were 4-0, we might have a problem. But generally speaking. And West's 6 of clubs could be a singleton. It might not be, but it might. It probably shouldn't be. You probably shouldn't double with a stiff club. And what shape would West have where he's doubling with a stiff club? It would be 3, 5. Because remember, East is showing 4 hearts, and he doesn't have 5. So West has 5 hearts. So I think that what this double is a hand too weak to bid 2 hearts. We have 22 high card points. West has 8, I would guess. That would give East 10. So that's already wrong. West has 6. Yeah, definitely a hand too weak to bid 2 hearts. So West has about 6, East has about 12. Suppose that West does have the ace of diamonds. In that case, I need 5 club tricks to make the contract. But in that case, also, West can't have the king of clubs. That would be too much. Or it would be quite unlikely anyway. It would be a very shapely hand. For East and, well, I guess just East. Whereas we know West is the one with extra shape. So, I don't think it's ever right to take this finesse, because if it succeeds, you were always making anyway. And if it fails, it might be the only way to go down. So jump on this, draw trump, hopefully in just 3 rounds. What about if trump are 4-0? Then I am having a bad day, I guess. I guess after I draw 1 round of trump, I would have a few different choices. I could attack clubs and hope the player with long hearts, the spades, has long clubs, although it seems unlikely. Or I could play on hearts and hope to actually get my 2 roughs right away. That's going to make it tough to draw trump. I don't know. I just hope spades aren't 4-0. They're not. Good. Finesse was losing and West was getting a ruff, and the ace of diamonds is onside. Great. So we're making exactly 4. I can only ruff one of North's hearts in the south hand, but that's why I've been setting up the clubs. I can pitch 1 or 2. Yes, and so this is I mean, I don't know. This is an example of why you should at least think for a second before playing trick 1, because, you know, when the opponents lead a suit that you have a finesse available in, it's sort of tempting to be like, oh, I'll finesse. Like, if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm not losing much. But when the opponent could be roughing, for example, that's one reason that you might not want to take the finesse. And in this case, I eventually demonstrated that finessing can never gain and can lose. And indeed, on this hand, it would have lost. Right? If we ask the computer, play small, you're down 2. Got to play that ace. So we got lucky with the 1 spade overcall. So I'll note that for hey, this is the kind of 4-card overcall that could work out. I think this is very nearly the weakest spade suit that you could make a 4-card overcall on. You know, the books say it should be something like ace, king, queen, 10. Like, it should be very rare. But a 9 is almost an ace, right? And in that position, it just, everything feels not great, and 1 spade is kind of nice tactically. It preempts the hearts a little bit. It quickly introduces the suit that we're most likely to outcompete them in their heart fit. And my hand is good enough, especially with the king of diamonds looking well positioned, that it feels kind of bad to pass. You might not get another chance. If it goes like a diamond, a heart, 3 hearts, maybe you've missed a good save in 4 spades. Anyway. So it definitely could have worked out badly. If I were a good statistician, I would be actually writing down my results for experiments like this. But I don't, because I'm not. So, I don't know. It's not really an experiment. 3 diamonds, 2 clubs is 5, 2 more aces is 7. So I need to find 2 more tricks somewhere. Both hearts and spades could produce extra tricks. It seems obvious we're playing jack of diamonds trick 1, just to unblock the suit. But I am a little short of entries to the north hand. You could imagine playing low to, but they can just duck the ace in that case. I don't know. Let's play the jack. Fine. That's helpful. No need to actually win this ace, I don't think. I now have 2 spade tricks whether I win them now or later. Right? Imagine if I had ace king of spades and East had led the queen. It's a very similar position now. And I think spades are the suit I'm most afraid of. I'd love it if East switched to anything else. And ducking also could help rectify the count for some squeeze later on. I don't think the fact that it's taking away one of my entries to the south hand is important. 8, and now 8, 6, and now 10. So what are the missing spots? I mean, I guess my 4 is not going to set up unless somebody hangs on to the 2 here. Okay. So there are 3 spades out there, right? Yeah. The 2 and 3, 2 that are in between the queen and the 4. So the queen is still never setting up. Okay. But in case of in a squeeze, maybe it could set up, right? So we do want to keep track of the fact that there are only 2 spades higher than the 4 out there. Here, I mean, it seems pretty clear to lead a heart to the queen. I'll play the 8. I don't think it matters. That's the 4. All right. Oh, you know what? I guess I could have tried... Could have tried end playing East somehow. If I knew East was the one who would win the last spade, I could have played like Queen and then a spade exit to him. And maybe he would be compelled to lead a heart for me, but I don't know. I would have to read things for that to work. Okay. So East played King, then 10, then 2. And West is dropping the Jack. Which one of them has the 5 or whatever the other spot is? I think it's the 5. West could certainly false card with the Jack because he knows the Jack and the 5 are equivalent. East, it's kind of weird for East to switch to the King and then the 10, holding King 10, 5, 2, isn't it? Wouldn't you switch low first or 10 first? I think East should have a double, or just have 3, and West should have 4. That also lines up with West not leading the suit because, I mean, Jack 4th isn't the greatest lead, but it's certainly, 4-card suits are nice to lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am indeed still 1 trick short. You know what I'd like to do is lose a club. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, if you lose a heart and the hearts are set up, and it turns out that the hearts were 3-3, then as long as whoever wins the heart can't cash a spade, then you're in good shape. But if the hearts are 3-3, then they probably both have a heart winner, and the person with the spade could win it. So, like, that doesn't work out so well. Whereas if I could lose a club, I might be set up for, like, a double squeeze around hearts. I think the entries for that are pretty bad, and the opponents could break it up just by, like, returning a heart. Then I'd have to fall back to... I mean, first of all, they could ruin it by returning a spade. But I kind of think if I play a club to the ace-king 10... If I put in the 10, East probably wins, and I don't think East has the last spade. But I guess he could also return a club? And that would take away my access to dummy. Then I wouldn't have, like, any squeezes. I guess I could cash all the diamonds first and then play a club to the 10. Then if East returns another club, I'm at least in the right hand. And if he returns a heart, yeah, I kind of think that's an idea. I think I want to cash all the diamonds. Okay, so West led a 4-card diamond suit. And I kind of think also has 4 spades, but I'm not sure. East has pitched 2 hearts. Two hearts? So what shape am I imagining East has? I'm imagining something like 3-3-2-5? I don't think that squeeze works. Does it? No. So I can play club to the 10. And if East returns a heart, I would be fine, but he can't do that because he's out of hearts if my guessed shape is right. If he returns a club, well, then the problem is I'm trying to squeeze West and I don't have any threats because West is sitting over the spade and heart threat. So actually this whole thing I think was kind of ill-fated to begin with. Because I assumed that East doesn't have the spade, but if he doesn't have the spade, then the threats are in the wrong hands. So what am I supposed to do here? Maybe I lose a spade now. Then at least a club heart squeeze could happen. Alternatively, is there some two-loser squeeze here? Like, what if I cash the ace of hearts and East... I don't know. Could I force East to lead? No, I don't think there is. Okay, I'm going to lose a spade. Yeah, it is West with the last spade, so the double squeeze was never working. But the club heart squeeze is still a possibility. Okay. It turns out the club heart squeeze already happened. Whew. East pitched clubs. Oh, I see. West had both honors. Interesting. But East had the hearts. I mean, I think East pitching all these hearts was not necessary, right? I can always make it by just leading clubs up to the ace-king-10 twice, but there's no real reason for me to do that. It's not that likely to work. Although low to the 10 was a line I was considering and mentioned many times. It was for a different reason, not because I expected the queen-jack to be onside. And East, by abandoning the hearts, just gives me the contract right away. Right, the hearts are now good. Apparently I have an overtrick available. I understand the overtrick if I lead a club to queen ace, and then a heart, and then another club. How does it work if I play ace of hearts first? Ace of hearts, heart. Oh, squeezing West in the black suits. Sure. But I think losing the spade now was the better chance. And you can see I was close on East's shape, except I thought one of his hearts was a club. Anyway, great start to the event so far. Up 13. Fantastic. Not necessarily all skill, of course. We've gotten fairly lucky. This is 23? Is that what I'm counting? 10, 23. Yeah, okay. Well, pretty clear 2 clubs, 2 no. You could bid 2 hearts if you want. Well... Actually, maybe 2 hearts is better, because we have a pretty easy rebid of 3 diamonds. And the hand is fairly concentrated in those 2 suits. To call it balanced is a bit of a skew. Yeah, okay, I like 2 hearts. Partner bids 4 hearts, showing support but a bad hand. Fine. 5 hearts, 2 spades is 7. We can get a club is 8. 1 diamond is 9, and we can surely set up at least 1 more diamond unless we run into trump problems, and perhaps more if we can take some finesses. We don't look likely to run into trump problems, but I do have to lose a couple of diamonds, potentially. So if the hearts are like 4-1 and they attack clubs in time, maybe they could do something. Anyway, we want to win these. The third one in dummy. Good. Trump are splitting. This should be a cakewalk then. You lead the 9? Is that right? If East has the king and jack, he can actually cover the 9 and 8, and we take 3 diamonds, but we still don't get 4. And I think the same is true if I let low to the 10, right? Low to the 10 wins. Then the 9's covered and the 8's covered. Yeah. So I guess I may as well lead the 9 since it doesn't ever matter. Or the 8, whatever. I suppose I could have been greedy and tried to rough the last diamond by not drawing the last trump, but that's like crazy greedy. There's no reason to be so greedy. And this way, maybe we have some squeeze at the end. Oh, they're just going to give it to me. Okay. West was determined not to win any diamond tricks for some reason. The diamond return, sure, whatever. It could be right. Your hand is not one you want to lead from. I get that. Once it goes around to the 10, though, I think you probably should give up on diamonds. Again, Gibb doesn't understand that the fact that the 10 won means his partner doesn't have the queen. He doesn't get that. The diamond position is completely marked. He should know the diamond is the one thing he definitely can't do. But Gibb just doesn't get that. Suppose instead that West had continued with a club. I do have a squeeze then, right? Win the club. 2 hearts pitching. Well, no. Yes? What suits am I squeezing in? Obviously, if I can see what West has, it's very easy. 2 hearts pitching spades, ace, king of spades, coming down to just 2 cards in each hand. North has a diamond and the 10 of clubs. South has both diamonds. West can't keep the jack of clubs and also both diamonds. But if I don't know for sure what's going on, the spade cards might be useful threats, right? Let's actually get this in the hand viewer. So here, let's say West reads the hand perfectly and switches to a club, or continues clubs. I have a diamond threat, a club threat, and a spade threat. If I thought there were one suit likely to be guarded by both players, it could only be spades, right? So it would be a double squeeze. If I were going to play it as a double squeeze, this would only work if East were guarding diamonds, which we know is not true. Because otherwise East is sitting over both the spade and club threats, right? So, well, I guess we don't know. East might have ducked the king to, I don't know. But in that case, since there is no double squeeze, the most likely simple squeeze, is diamonds and clubs. So you might as well pitch both of dummies spades on the hearts. Okay. But West didn't make me do it. Another monster hand. Is this worth 2 clubs, do you think? I don't really. The heart suit is good, but the poor intermediates, you want really strong Like you want, if you bid 2 clubs and then a suit, you want that suit to be one where you don't expect to lose many tricks, even if partner has a singleton. Not saying you're like forcing that suit to be trump, but you want it to be one where you'd be okay play opposite a singleton. Like, this wouldn't be a disaster opposite a singleton, but it wouldn't be great necessarily. There are other places we might be. And like my king of spades obviously is quite weak. The thing is, in both cases, I get to bid hearts and then clubs ending at the 3 level. If I like bid us 1 heart, then 3 clubs versus 2 clubs, 2 hearts, and then 3 clubs. So it's not about the most efficient way to bid the hand. It's about the most accurate way to describe the hand. And just like, I don't really think this is a 2 club hand. Like, even if partner has the king of clubs, which is solid gold to me, I still could easily go down in 4 hearts. So I need him to have more than that. If he just passes a heart, I think I'm okay with that. 2 diamonds. Okay, that's pretty cool. Is this forcing? I don't think it is. Kind of should be, but anyway, I'll bid 3 clubs. Okay, I'll just play 3-no, I guess. We could belong in 4 hearts, but I don't really have room to find out. Maybe I should have bid 3 hearts? I wish I could just bid 2 hearts forcing. But Gibb didn't say that 2 hearts would be forcing. My opinion is that it should be. Like, I know people can open light in 3rd or 4th seat, and so 2 diamonds is not game forcing, but it should promise a rebid. Oh well. I'll just bid 3-no and hope for the best. Okay, I'm glad I'm not in hearts. Yeah, no trump is the place to be, I think, right? 6 diamonds, 2 hearts, and a club. And they can't take 5 spades, so that's fine. Can I afford to screw around with clubs? I think it's a little scary, right? No, it's fine. I can play ace of diamonds now, club to the jack. They win that, and that's their second trick. Let's say they even take 2 more spades. That's their 4th trick. But I still have a club to get to hand and diamonds to get to dummy. Yeah. Actually, wouldn't I improve my chances of an overtrick if I just cashed all the diamonds right now and then played the jack of clubs? I guess not. Because, okay, I was thinking you could, like, a problem with winning this and club to the jack is that the opponents might win it and take 2 spades, and then the extra club you set up isn't worth anything. But they can only take 2 spades if West wins the trick. And if West has the king of clubs, then there's not really anything you can do to make an extra trick. So you might as well just say, oh well, I'll lose some tricks to that. Whereas if East has the king of clubs, I don't know, I mean, they can't attack spades profitably, right? So, and even if you let jack of clubs covered, I still only have 2 club tricks. Yeah, I think low club to the jack, it just seems like, I think either way, your chances to make overtricks legitimately are the same, and somehow this feels more likely to produce extra illegitimate overtricks. Okay, well, I mean... Here's hoping that the 9 and 7 drop somehow. Okay, not happening. So now we do just have to cash out. But we got a second club trick. Yeah, the 7 is out there. I've been watching. Right? I did not miss that. It would be kind of embarrassing if the 6 were a winner, but it shouldn't be. There should be a 7 out there. There it is. Well, here's hoping some other players insist on playing hearts. How good is 6 diamonds, by the way? Not very? Yeah. If the opponents let you get any spade ruffs, it might be okay. You need the club finesse on side and also some spade ruffs. Too many spade ruffs, I guess. No, you need 2. Yeah, that's too many. Okay, well, doing great so far. This is 16 balanced. Easy, boring one, no. I was in 3rd seat, so East didn't open and West didn't overcall. We have 3 hearts and 2 spades is 5. We very likely have another heart trick. But if the suit is 4-1 and I misguess who has the 4, or I misguess the layout, I might take only 3. However, I don't think West is leading a singleton. So if anybody has 4, it's West, which means I can just play low and then later finesse him for the jack or the 9. I guess if East plays the jack now, okay, it would be for the jack then. So that's 6 tricks. I can set up a diamond for 1 more. Or I could try going after clubs, like... And maybe the opponents will lead diamonds for me, or I could like duck a spade, but then I sort of risk losing a spade, 3 diamonds, sorry, 3 clubs, a diamond. That's only 5 tricks. I guess that would be fine. I think actually, like, the place the opponents are most likely to cash enough tricks to beat the contract is clearly diamonds, right? If West has, like, ace 5th, he probably would have led the suit. But maybe West has ace 4th, and we only have 1 diamond stopper. That means I only have a chance to, like, duck 1 thing before they can cash 4 diamonds and, like, 2 clubs. Perhaps even 3 clubs. So, diamonds, I actually expect I will attack myself eventually, but you don't want to do it right away. First, duck a spade, just so that, hey, if the suit's 3-3, we'll set up a trick there. And if the opponents go after diamonds at that point, I don't mind. I was going to do it myself anyway. But if you do diamonds first, you're going to be burned by the opponent's continuing diamonds. And clubs, I think, are more likely to produce 1 extra trick than clubs, but than spades are. But they're much slower to do so. And that matters because of the fast diamond threat. So anyway, I think that's the line. Okay, now we don't even have to worry about how the hearts work. There's the diamond. Can we play low? I think if East had the jack, he would have led it here. So it's unlikely to help us to play low. And it could harm us. Yeah, let's just play the king. Yeah, please, continue clubs. No. Okay. So, let's do a quick trick count. We have 7 tricks. The opponents are about to take their 4th, and they could even take a 5th if I ducked this, but they couldn't take a 6th. So I guess I will pitch a heart and duck, and just like see if something good happens. Yeah, for example, this. Now I don't need the spades. And they weren't splitting, although East has Jack-10 doubleton, so if I were brave enough, I could have played the ace and then finessed against the queen. And there's actually no way to minus 0.3? Really? That's wild. Who's doing better than that? Oh, are people opening a club, forgetting how to bid no trump, and then raising partner's heart and playing 2 hearts instead, like with making 3 maybe? It doesn't seem like you should make 3, should you? Lose a spade, a diamond. Yeah, I guess you probably do only lose 2 clubs because West is... Well, the opponents are going to lead them. If left to your own devices, you actually have to lose all 3 clubs because 10 of clubs ducked to the ace. 9 of clubs covered to the queen and king, and now the 8's a winner. There's no way you can actually force a third trick out of... Or force a trick out of clubs without losing 3 first. But it would be natural for the opponents to lead the suit at some point, and then you actually, no matter which one of them leads the suit, you can get trick 3. You can get the third trick. 1 trick in clubs, which will be the third club trick. So yeah, I could believe people are bidding badly and winding up in hearts making 3. 14 points, easy spade. I mean, maybe I should have thought about what would happen if partner bid 1 no. It is somewhat uncomfortable. Obviously, 1 spade is still the right call, but it would be nice to have a plan so I could bid in tempo here. Doesn't matter against robots, but with humans, you don't want to leak information by your tempo. And this is such a normal response that I should have expected it. The book bid is obviously 2 diamonds here, which is like kind of sad. Right? You usually want to have 4 when you bid a minor like this, but if you open one of a major with hands in the 12 to 14 balanced range, you have an unpleasant rebid after 1 no trump because you don't have a 4-card suit to bid. And 2 clubs is often enough bid with a 3-card suit here. 2 diamonds... I mean, I don't know. The point is, partner will expect at least 3 clubs. And I'm sure the description of 2 diamonds says at least 3 as well, right? Yeah. But it'll have 4 a lot of the time. And I don't like bidding this horrible 3-card diamond suit. But I don't think I have any other choice. You could pass this and disrespect partner? Really? This says forcing. This says balanced minimum. I guess, actually, it just says forcing 1 no trump. It does not describe the bid as forcing. Forcing 1 no trump is just like the title of the bid. The meaning comes after the dash and doesn't say forcing. So Gib actually doesn't mind if you pass, huh? Interesting. The thing is, like, partner could have a balanced 11 and be planning to bid 2 no trump next, and then we would miss a decent 3 no. But it's not an incredible 3 no. It's a 3 no that would be okay to miss, I think. Yeah, let's just pass. Partner has a balanced 11, and yet 3 no does not look very good. Oh, partner was going to raise to 3 spades. He was going to show the limit raise. Yeah, that is a pretty good 4 spades game that we're missing here. It could go down, for sure, but it's a good contract. Don't need that club. Don't think I need this spade. Okay. The diamonds are 4-4. So I just pitch a heart, planning to pitch my last heart on the clubs. If the spades don't break... Obviously I can play low and guarantee a fourth club trick here, but I don't need a fourth club trick. If the spades are breaking, I have the rest. And if they're not breaking, a fourth club trick only gets me one extra pitch, and I still have a loser left. So I think I should actually win this with the kings, so that if I test the spades and find they're not breaking, I can end in dummy and maybe have a spade heart squeeze in the end. Spades aren't breaking. Seems pretty daring to put in the 10 here, doesn't it? But in order to make 3, I would need to win all of these clubs, and then, well, the squeeze against East is not exactly a squeeze. It's just a show-up squeeze, which is like a finesse, basically. Except it's just giving me... It's making the finesse safe, in that I can't possibly... I can take it without a risk. But if I lose this club to East, and the opponents play a heart, I mean, I could go down. It seems like a very stupid risk to take, even though I suspect the finesse would win. Okay, fine. So now, this is the show-up squeeze. First of all, if I had pitched a heart from dummy instead of the club, I would have the rest of the tricks already. And this squeeze would be unnecessary. But it seemed to me like I might need the heart, and I wouldn't need the 5th club. I should have thought about the fact that the spades were 4-1. I might want that 5th club. Anyway, this is the show-up squeeze, right? We know one of East's last 2 cards is a spade winner, the jack, right? Because we've squeezed him down to 2 cards. And I've held on to the spade threat. Now I can abandon the spade threat, because it's definitely never going to win a trick. And if East has the king of hearts, it's his only heart, which means it will show up when I lead a heart here. That means if it doesn't show up, I know the finesse is losing, and I should play the ace. Although actually it won't even matter, because West can't cash anything if he gets in, so I guess, I don't know, it's not even anything. Okay, so good technique makes up for bad technique, I guess? I think my club pitch from dummy was wrong. It should have been a heart. But then I scrambled to recover. And by the way, the club finesse would have worked. It just was no better than playing the ace. I bet the field's at 4 spades. Yeah, -3. I guess that -3 was on the screen for a while, but I was looking at it and didn't understand what it meant, and then I didn't even realize it was there. So I was predicting that we would get a bad score, while of course the bad score is already on the table in front of me, and I just didn't get it. 17 points, easy club. Surely not 2 clubs. It is a 4-loser hand with 4.5 quick tricks. That is the sort, one of the rules of thumb that some people advocate for when you can open 2 clubs is when you have more quick tricks than losers. So, losers are cards aces, kings, and queens that you're missing in suits. So this suit's missing a king, this is missing a queen, this is missing king, queen. That's 4. 4 losers. And like, you don't count the missing queen if you have a 2-card suit, but like roughly that's what it is, right? And so we don't count any diamond losers because we're missing the ace and king and queen, but we're not going to lose them. So 4 losers. Quick tricks are a really old method of counting strength of a hand. It might have even been from before high card points were invented. I'm not sure. And it's sort of an estimate of how much defense your hand has, whereas loser count is how much offense it has. Defense is like, okay, suppose we end up defending. How many tricks can I take? Well, an ace is 1 quick trick, ace king is 2. Here the ace is a trick and the queen is an extra half a quick trick. So you could argue that this is worth 2 clubs. I like to use that not mnemonic, rule of thumb to justify what I want to do anyway and not to actually help me decide what to do. This hand is just not good enough. And 2 clubs, 3 clubs is a really awkward auction generally. Although I guess having 3 cards in both majors does improve it quite a bit. Because it shouldn't be too hard to find a 5-3 major fit if partner responds with 3 of a major. The problem is, like, what if it goes 2 clubs, 3 diamonds, pass? Now I'm at the 4 level bidding my hand for the first time. It's kind of sad, right? Whereas if it goes a club, 3 diamonds, I can bid like 4 clubs or something, and partner knows what's going on. 3 diamonds, 3 clubs here is like kind of an underbid, but having opened, actually, you could bid 3 no. It's definitely not it's not quite the right hand, but it's not the wrong hand. If my 10 of clubs were the king, it would be the right bid. Right? Showing running clubs, and the only suit I was worried about them running was diamonds, and now that partners bid them, I'm not worried anymore, so let's bid 3 no. I don't think it's a good idea when I don't actually have running clubs. So I'm just going to bid 3 clubs. Partners 3 spades. All right, now I'll bid 3 no. This is quantitative, I assume? I mean, yeah, my hand is way better than I told you it was, partner. Any chance I could convince you to bid clubs? What do you think 4 clubs means? Okay. 5 clubs, I mean, nothing much. I would really like to play with a trump suit, partner. If you have no clubs, I'll be sad no matter what we play. And if you have even 1 club, I'd like them to be trump. If you correct a 6 no, I mean, I guess I can't override you. Wow! Wow! Okay. Claim 13? Jeez. Is that right? 7 clubs, no matter how they split. And then 2 cards in every other suit. Yeah, that's all right. Don't rough this, please. Actually, I would love it if they did rough it, so the 7 club bidders would go down. All right, claim. Well, I mean, my underbid of 1 club, 3 clubs is sort of punished. Partner made only an invite to slam after that, and then signed off in 6. Imagine if I'd opened 2 clubs. Holy shit. Like, partner would be justified in just bidding. I can't believe we won imps. This is atrocious. How could you miss any slam here? We were in the worst slam. If you open 2 clubs with this hand, partner could probably just bid 7 no. Like, it's so big. 15 points? I guess you can't bid 7 no. But you bid 3 diamonds for sure. And then when South says, no, I don't like diamonds, 4 clubs, you're like, oh my god, look at these amazing clubs I have. King third is stupendous given this auction. And at that point, like, I don't know what systems you should play, but I suspect that Gib would play 4 no trump as keycard for clubs, which is exactly what you want in this scenario. I show 4, which I guess is 5 diamond. No, I have 3. So that's 5 clubs. Partner asks about the queen. I say yes and the king of hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would need 7 club tricks or like a heart ruff. Yeah, I think partner could just bid 7 clubs at that point. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if 2 clubs is actually a good call here. Because, I mean, I know 1 club, 3 clubs is definitely an underbid. But 2 clubs, 3 clubs feels like an overbid? I don't know. 15. It's fine describing the hand offensively. The problem is, what if West gets involved? Opening 2 clubs leaves you in not such a great spot, I think. And holding 11 cards in the red suits, even with a pretty awful hand, you could imagine some human players getting involved here. If they have some good... most players have a decent system to show 2 suitors over strong 2 club bids. And it doesn't necessarily show that much strength, just to help, to get in the way. Now, these are such awful suits that you could go for like 1700 if you tried that. So maybe West would be well advised not to get involved, but it could work out. I think at match points you should get involved, and at imps you probably shouldn't. And we are playing imps. Gibbs certainly wouldn't get involved, but I think some humans might. Anyway, we have an easy 2 diamonds for the last hand of the day. 2 hearts doesn't show extra length, but it doesn't deny it either. We'll bid 2 no here. It's interesting. So partner has 3 diamonds. Do I think partner has 6 hearts? I guess I could offer. I can just show... No, this shows a 3-card suit? Are you kidding me? This should show a doubleton. With 3 of them, you should be bidding 3 hearts here. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just bid 3 no and hope they don't run a bunch of spades. Or clubs. So we have 2 spade tricks, 5 hearts... is 7 and 2 diamonds. Okay, we should be fine. They might set up another club for me as well, or a diamond somehow. But we have stoppers. West found the wrong lead. On a club lead, we're not in very good shape. Well, I don't know. Clubs could be 4-4. Then they only get 3 clubs and a spade. I guess just claim, right? Pitch a club. Sorry, diamond on a club. Unblock the hearts. And now the 2 diamonds. And cross to dummy. Play the jack. Now it's illegal for me not to take all the tricks. There's no sequence of plays. Just as a fun little mini game for myself, I like getting as early as possible to the point where it's illegal to lose tricks, where nothing I could do could possibly be wrong. I could have gotten there much faster by just claiming. But I don't know. It's just nice to set up a situation where you can't lose any tricks. So the first 3 hands were very strong. 4 hands. And then after that, pretty middling. I imagine board 8 is just middling as well. If I hit the refresh button, can I get rid of this? Yes, I can. Oh, win 5. Okay. I mean, this is what? 28.4 over 8 boards? That's 3.5 imps per board. Not bad. you'd be thrilled with this in a Swiss with like real players. This is an outstanding result, but against the BBO field, it's just good. Maybe it's great. I don't know. Got, I mean, a little adventurous on this one. Here. Yeah, I'm not clear whether my technique was right or not. It turned out East just like gave up on life and pitched all his hearts for some reason. Here, yeah, everybody should be in 4 hearts. Apparently they aren't. Maybe some are in 6. I get that. It's a very poor 6, but BBOers overbid a lot. Board 4. Oh, why was this one so good? Oh, people are insisting on their heart suit, maybe? They open like 2 clubs, and then partner bids 3 diamonds. They bid 3 hearts. Partner bids 3 no, and they bid 4 hearts, and partner respectfully passes. And they get ruined because like they shouldn't have bid their hearts this strongly. Okay. This one just pretty flat. Here, the biggest loss for sure. If I hadn't passed 1 no, we would be in a game, and I mean, I guess those make with the hearts on side. Diamonds 4-4 so that 3 no makes. You have a spade loser, but East as a robot might very well put in the jack on the second round, even though it's stupid, and then you can finesse him. Although, I don't know. They probably made you rough a diamond at some point, so you can't even do that. So you're losing a spade and 2 diamonds, but clubs and hearts come in, so you kind of can't get it wrong. Board 7, as I said, underbid and got to a bad slam, but still won imps because BBOers can't bid slams at all. Didn't win a bunch of imps, but surely no one's going down on a slam on this, right? No, there's just no way. I guess you could play 2 spades before playing a club, but unless you were in 7, you would still make your slam. If you're in 7 and you're that careless, I just don't understand why. Board 8. Pretty straightforward auction. I wish I had been allowed to bid 3 hearts here, but that's not the system Gib plays. So we settled in 3 no. And actually, if West had started with clubs, I only have 8 tricks, right? And East has the entry to the running clubs. 5 hearts, 2 diamonds is 7. Ah, but the diamonds come in. So as long as you test the diamonds before you cash the hearts, you have tons of tricks. And I guess if you cash them in the wrong order, you make 3. If you cash them in the right order, you can actually make 5? Oh, wait a minute. You can't actually... Okay. The hearts are blocked, and that does matter. But only if the suit is 5-1, which it isn't. You play king and then overtake the 10 with the ace and run the hearts. Huh. I don't know why we're winning so many imps. You can't be missing a game and none of the games go down, do they? Maybe 4 hearts does. Maybe there's just not enough tricks. No, I don't think that's true. It's a bit lucky that 4 hearts makes, but it does. You lose a spade and 2 clubs. I guess if West leads clubs, you can pitch a diamond loser on a club. If West doesn't lead clubs and you end up leading a club up to the queen, then a club up to the jack, those both lose, which is unlucky, but then it turns out the diamonds are coming in anyway, so it's a bit lucky in the end. So I don't know if I would call that lucky or unlucky to make 4 hearts. Alright, well, a strong performance. I'm not representing my state here, I guess. Oh well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.